What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. So, you guys see the thumbnail? You guys see the title? I believe it was around February 10th. I think that's when it was. There was a bonfire party happening on Dockwiler Beach in LA County. And a serious assault took place. I was sent the clip of it by a close friend of mine, and we spoke about it. Two Mexicans, me and my friend. We watched the clip, and neither one of us liked what we saw. Since then, I've had several of my I don't know if they're subscribers. I've had several people leave comments in the comment section. Why are you talking about this and you're not talking about the incident at the beach? Excuse me. And I knew I was gonna do this video. It's a very touchy subject, especially in Southern California. It's a touchy subject anywhere, but with the history in Southern California between brown and black youth, it can get ugly, it can get touchy, but it happened. And I'm going to tell you, the first thing I said was, this reminds me of the 90s, when things were really going on between the two communities. Things aren't going on now to the extent as they did then. You know, I wanted the first thing I wanted to do was, and I always want to do, is remain unbiased, right? And in trying to remain unbiased, the first thing was like, okay, wait a minute. I heard what the reporter had to say. I've read several different articles, and in all accounts, this young man, I believe he's 17 years old, he was defending someone else. He was defending a friend. I don't know if that friend was a female, a male. I don't know if that friend was being physically attacked. I don't know. Those details are not in there. How was this young man helping his friend? That was my first thought, right? Like, what happened before? There's always something that happens before the cameras start rolling. The cell phones come out, right? But the reality is this: whatever happened before the cameras turned on, the language during the assault, I don't think anybody likes it, right? The N-word was used. That's not cool. And I was also really irritated with these kids are allegedly doing whatever they were doing. It's an open case, so I don't want to really say anything, but I say this. Why were they saying on the dead homies? What on the dead homies? Like, why do people say that shit? I find it very annoying. I'm from a different generation. You don't put something on dead homies that's frivolous. So they're attacking this kid. This kid wasn't fighting. This kid was balled up, trying to cover up. Apparently was stabbed. I saw the interview with his mother, and she said the mother said that the doctors had to collapse the lung in order to repair the other one. He had a camera put in his stomach. There was so much blood. Luckily, he's still alive. Luckily for everyone involved. Unfortunately, for those kids that took part in this, whatever the hell it was, just so you know, and for everyone out there that thinks doing stuff like this is cool, in California, I don't know about any other state, in California, attempted murder carries a life sentence. Again, attempted murder. You don't need a dead body. Attempted murder carries a life sentence. I was in prison with guys that had over 20 years in on attempted murder charges. I get it, man. I was a kid. When you're a kid and you're with their homies and shit goes down, people get overly excited and go overboard. But that video needs to be shown to more youth, especially the so-called at-risk youth, with the reality of those people involved. Supposedly they've all been apprehended. The cops are still looking at the video. Why this generation brings cameras out for everything? You get what you deserve. Okay. But the youth need to see that video. And I'm sure a lot of them will say, man, I wonder what happened before. Well, we're all going to wonder that weren't there. But what you're not going to need to wonder about is that those involved may be in prison for the rest of their lives. So that's a high probability in the state of California. So the victim's mother had to see the video, the recording of her son being stomped, stabbed, punched, slapped, called the N-word. It would be hypocritical of me with this platform to make a video saying, why are our street vendors being attacked, but then staying quiet on something like this? My platform is all inclusive. I'm from that era where, unfortunately, the type of attack you see, or you see in that incident, it took place on both sides quite commonly back in the 90s. I feel like situations like that could incite retaliation. And when retaliation comes, you see this kid, this victim supposedly isn't a gang member, isn't a crook, a criminal. He isn't somebody that's in that lifestyle. That opens the door for a retaliation on somebody who's not a criminal, crook, a gang member. And then where does it end? At what time? At what point does both sides or one side say, all right, cool? And if it's one side, if A owns, all right, whatever, the other side might still be mad. All this on the set, on the dead homies, on now that, man, fuck all that. There was 5 dudes supposedly on one kid. The 5 of you could have just snatched him up, threw him on the ground, verbalized his ass, tell him, get the fuck out of here, you and your friend. Could have kept partying, whatever. I don't know. I'm a dinosaur now, you know. But if it's obvious they're not gang members, then you don't got to worry about it. Just kick them out. They're not coming back to shoot the place up. This ain't the 90s, which is what might have happened back then. I think it's an unfortunate thing. And, you know, so we have, I want to point out, you have one victim we know about and then an alleged victim, the friend, that we don't know what happened, what triggered it. It doesn't matter at this point. But then what everybody should remember is the ripple effect. So you have the direct victim who was stabbed, who was beaten, disrespected. But then the indirect victims, what about them? The direct victim's mother is an indirect victim. Everybody who took part in smashing on this kid, your moms, dads, sisters, brothers, are indirect victims now. If you have been incarcerated, those kids have been incarcerated, their families going to be doing time with you however long you're incarcerated. And like I said, in California, there's a very good likelihood that those involved are going to get charged with attempted murder. Now we're going to see how tough you are. Are you gonna keep your mouth shut and do that time? You're gonna do that life sentence with the other 4 dudes? Or are you gonna fucking snitch on them? Because it was on the dead homies when you were doing it. So on the dead homies, go and do all that time. Sit down for that life sentence and think about what you did. Remember all the little chicks that were there with you that you thought were fine, and you're gonna holler at them later? Nah. Now you're gonna sit on the yard for a long time. This is the shit the youth need to see, like I said, and the realities of it. Them dudes thought they were cool on the dead homies, Now they're gonna be sitting in a prison yard with nothing but homies. No kids, no family, no women. Having to do what other people want you to do. Oh, you have a choice in there, though. Believe that, you have a choice. You can make different decisions and then suffer the ramifications of them. But I just wanted to do this video, man, and let it be known. I didn't think it was cool. I hope it doesn't set everything back to where, people want to do the whole tit for tat retaliation thing. We got to let our kids live, man. We got to teach these kids to value themselves. Because once they value themselves, they can value other people. On the dead homies. That's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, share the video with somebody you think would be interested in it. Leave a comment as well as a like. I appreciate you guys. With that said, everybody please be safe. Be smart. Tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out.